Hey cousins, I made this amazing dinner for my family using my fresh green beans from my garden, so let's get right into it. So, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I have a vegetable garden going on outside, and I did harvest a nice amount of green beans, but not as much as I really wanted to. So, in this bag, this is all. This is all I have left, y'all. I've been snacking on a lot of them, and yeah, that's my excuse. I've really been snacking on a lot of them, and then I had to pull the plants. But I have regular green beans, so the jade beans, I have wax beans, dragon tongue beans, and purple TP. You're not going to see a lot of the purple TPs because those are my favorites to snack on while they're fresh. So this is, like I said, what I have left. One thing I did note this year is next year when I store my green beans, I will be doing them different. I should have vacuum sealed them. This little freezer bag method kind of made them a little soggy, and I didn't appreciate that. They were still edible, but next time I will be doing something different. Another thing I will be doing different is I'll prepare the green beans before I put them away. And this was simply because I was being lazy. I just washed them and then I threw them in the bag. Now, what I should have done was I should have washed them and then I should have cut them and then I should have put them into a freezer as like a vacuum seal bag, but I didn't do that. I will be doing that from now on though. So that's what I'm doing here. You know, they're already clean. They were frozen, and now I'm just snipping off the sides or the corners or the ends. And yeah, this should have been done before I froze them. It would have saved me time and it would have been a lot easier because I'm actually cutting them while they're a little soft right now. And yeah, this isn't my preference. So again, I'm going to change that whole thing up next year. So I was left with maybe about 4 cups of green beans or a little under. And then I just set them aside. I actually put them in a bag and I put them back in the freezer until I was ready to use them. The meat that I will be using today will be smoked neck bones. They're frozen, as you can see. For me to clean them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with some water and I'm going to bring it up to a boil. Once they are like this, and you see the foam and all that stuff on top, that's the stuff that you don't want. So we're going to pour all of that out and then we will go to our next step. Okay, so this is my cleaning process for these smoked neck bones. Once I drained them and make sure they was nice and good to go to my preference, I'm going to add them into my slow cooker. I am using a 6-quart slow cooker and I'm going to also add in some yellow onion. They always look white on camera, but I use yellow. And after that, I'm going to add in some water. The reason I'm not using any broth is because there's plenty of salt and flavor coming from the smoked neck bones. But what I will do later on is I will add some of my green seasoning from my company, Rosemary Seasoning. That is, optional, but I love it because it has garlic, onion, peppers, and all the other good stuff. So I'm going to add it. I let it cook with the top on high for 2 hours. And then I'm going to add in some potatoes. Now, the potatoes that I'm using are regular russet potatoes. I really wish that I would have grown potatoes this year, y'all, but that's on my bucket list for next year. Russet potatoes aren't really my favorite for a recipe like this simply because they cook really fast and they can get mushy. You do have to babysit them more than you would the golden or the reds, but it's what I had. And of course, they are a lot less expensive than the other ones, so that's what we're using tonight. Make sure you scrub them really good. You can peel them if you choose. This is a lazy day for me. I'm not going to peel them. They can eat around them or they can eat the skin and get some fiber in the diet. But I'm not going to peel them. This is going to work for me. So we have the neck bones, the onions, water. I already added a little bit of the green seasoning at this point, and now we're adding in the potatoes, okay? And I added just a little bit of green seasoning at this point. Now we are going to add in our green beans. So this is about an hour after I added the potatoes, okay? And we're going to let this cook for another hour. So it's going to be a whole maybe 4 hours of cooking. 3.5 to 4 hours, I'll say that. You're going to make sure everything is well combined. Do a little taste test once everything is done, and then season it to your preference. Okay, this is really easy. And y'all could tell I went crazy with my seasons. Lots of rosemary up in this pot, y'all. So we got our smoked neck bones, our beans, and our potatoes, onions, and this is good to go. If you want to be fancy, serve it with cornbread. If not, this is the full meal. Thanks for watching, and get the recipe from iHeartRecipes.com.